Hi friends, welcome back to Arc Tutorials. This is Angular 10 complete tutorial playlist for beginners. Today's topic is the most critical one, I would say, and I would say the most important one that you should understand if you're a beginner or even for an experienced developer, because no application would be complete. I mean, I'm talking about real time, real application with enterprise, which route, with so basically any serious application, right, will have a lot of routes. You will have authentication, authorization in place. For that, you need to secure the routes. And for that, you need something called route guards. I'm not saying you cannot build an Angular application without authorization or authentication. You can definitely do that, right? Like if you want to build an open application, you can do that. But I'm talking about enterprise apps mostly, or any serious client work, which requires you to have secure pages or secure templates. Basically, it's any functionality that needs to be behind authentication, right? So that's what we call it as a route guard. What is a route guard? It's a gatekeeper, right? It's the gate. It's the gateway which through which your routes will be processed or passed. This is like a gatekeeper which will check if you are authorized, if you have correct permissions to access a particular route. We'll learn all about it in today's episode. Let's get started. This is part 48 of the Angular 10 complete tutorial playlist. I have planned around 100 tutorials for you in this series. Currently we are on 48. All the previous tutorial links are in the description box below. I make notes in every episode, so that notes is also available in the GitHub link. Please do check it out. Also, these are all the complete list of all the tutorials I've done on Angular 10 so far. If you have any doubts in any of these, please feel free to reach out to me in the comment section. I will try and help you as much as I can. Listen, the best way to learn is to practice along with me, so I request you to kindly start coding. You will run into issues, which is normal, totally fine. Just let me know in the comment section. We will resolve it together. That being said, today's topic is route guards. So what is a route guard? Route guards help us to prevent users from navigating to parts of an app without proper authentication, right? Which means there is some custom logic that we will write, and we will check that can user access this route, yes or no, based on some logic, right? Route guards will help us to secure the route paths, right? In most cases, the routes and screens are protected behind a good authentication system, right? The route guard will always resolve to true or false based on some custom logic. Like for example, you'll say if the user is from a certain geography, if the user is from certain department, if the user is logged in, if the user's status has quota, etc., etc. Right? So these are all different logic that we write based on our application. That is what will be put in our route guard, right? We can generate any number of route guards in our application, and there is no condition which says you should only use one or two or anything. We can use any number of things. It's an array. Okay. All right. So that being said, let me make some notes for you so that you can understand it much better. Right. So this is episode number 48, and we are talking about route guards. Right. So what are route guards? Right. Helps us secure our routes and screens, right? Now think of it this way. I'll give you an example, right? Now user is trying to access a route which says admin payments, right? So here the user is trying to access this screen, right, which we can say slash admin, right? He's trying to access this route. Now we are putting a route guard or a checkpoint or a gatekeeper. What this will do, this we will write our custom logic here. Custom logic which will check if the user has this role, or we will check if he is an admin. If he is an admin, this guard will return true, or else it will return false. If it is true, the user can access the route. If false, we can send him back to whichever screen we want or navigate him to home page, right? Or log out, or ask him to log in, etc., etc., right? So that's custom logic. So don't worry about that, right? So custom redirect, custom logic on failure condition, right? Similarly, so this entire journey, right, whether the user can access this particular link, route or not is decided by this guard, right? So, or the other way of looking up is, you can think of it like this, that there is a route here, there's a route guard here, right? And the route goes here, right? So see, this is what is your understanding. If it is true, send him to admin page. If not, send him to say home page, right? So user is trying to access this admin's page, and the route guard will interject it, and will, based on our condition, it will return true or false. If the conditions are met, he can access the route and he will be taken to admin. Else it will give false, right? So this is the flow of a route guard, right? So now let's see the other things. Now, how do you generate a route guard, right? So just like any other ng component or anything, generate route guards. So we can type ng generate, we'll type guard and followed by the guard name, right? So that's how you generate a route guard. Now before I do this execution of step, let me go and explain you a little bit more. Route guards have something called interfaces, right? So there are multiple interfaces like can activate child, can deactivate, can load and resolve, right? So these are the different interfaces which are available for the route guard. So what this essentially means, right? So this means can activate means check if the user can visit a route, which means, like in our example I just told you, can the user access this route slash admin, right? Can he access this path? So we'll put a condition which says can activate. So this will check yes, you can activate or not. Can activate child means can the user visit routes children, right? So if you see the lazy loading example that we did, so we have customers or payments, right? So if you see here, let me give you that example here. So if you see payments route, we have payments as the main component, and we have one more path which is success. Now here we can set and say can the user access only payments, or can he also access payments slash success, payments slash processing, etc., right? So these are child routes. So here we can use this interface and say can the user visit a main parent component or can also visit its child. Now that is called as can activate child. Now what is can deactivate, or let me tell you what is can load first. So this is again based on the example that I just showed you on the module, right? So can this be loaded? Can a lazy loading module be loaded, right? That's what it means. Can child means can user access child routes of a parent route. This means can a user access a route, right? Can load means can a lazy loaded module be accessed by this user, right? Can should you load a module which is lazy loaded? If no, it will not load. If yes, it will load. Can deactivate means check to see if a user can exit a route. Can he leave that, right? So can check if user can exit the route, right? And finally we'll have something called resolve. This is yet another property we can configure it in our routing. So what it tells, perform route data retrieval before route activation, right? So this is like you can say that, you know, route activation, route data retrieval, that means retrieve all the data before you actually redirect or do route resolve, right? Like what should you do before activating a particular route? That's what resolve means, right? I will cover all of these again individually, right? I will cover all of these in detail because these are extremely important advanced topics that you guys should know in coming episodes with quick examples, right? Quick some examples and some use cases from real time applications that I've built. Alright, so the reason I gave you this introduction is because now we are going to generate the route guard and you would see these options. So I didn't want to confuse you. That's why I thought I'll give you little introduction, but in the coming episodes, I will cover all of this in detail. Okay. Again, if you have any doubts, hold on to that, drop them in the comment section. When I cover each of this topic individually, I'm sure your doubts will go away. That being said, let's get ahead and let's load with the route guard, right? So I'm going to say ng generate a guard and I'm going to keep it very simple for now. I'm going to call it auth, right? So what I'm doing, I'm generating a new guard by the name auth, which is nothing but authentication, right? So you can even call it authentication, or you can just say auth in most cases. That's what I've seen. So follow that nomenclature. Alright, so let's give it a couple of seconds. If you're liking this tutorial, please do hit the like button and subscribe button. Alright, so now once you do that, Angular will give you an option which says which interfaces would you like to implement. Right? Now see, this is exactly what I gave you here. Right? Can activate child, can deactivate, can load. Right? Now for this episode, I'm selecting the first option, which is can activate, and I'm going to just show you simple example of how to secure a route. In the coming episodes, we will dig deep and implement our entire secure protection system using authentication, protection, everything. Alright, so if you see here, now it generated a auth guard. Don't worry anything about this, that is for the next episode. For now, all you have to understand is this line number 12. Don't worry about others, that we'll do it in the next episode. Today's episode is about return true or false. So here this auth guard is returning true, which means when we implement, your custom logic says it is true. That means you should allow the user to access the route. Let's set it up. Alright, so I have a few routes here, right? So what we are going to do here, we will say whenever user is trying to access search, right? Or say bad example. Let's say I mean, again, you can take any component, any route, doesn't matter. But for your thing, so I'm saying can activate, and this will be an array, which means it can take more than one, right? So remember, we can implement more than one guards in our application. There is no restriction since it's an array, right? So go to auth routing. Here you see can activate. Now here you will give your auth guard, right? So here I'm saying now this route, which is clients, is protected by this guard, right? Now what that means, if this guard will return true, you can access this route. If it returns false, you cannot access. Let me show you that. For now, if you see, auth guard is returning true. So let's go ahead and access slash clients. So it is showing you the list of clients, right? Because it has resolved to true. Now let's resolve it to false. So it is now returning you false. That means you cannot access. Now see, you cannot access. It will redirect you, right? And check console log, and there are no errors, right? So someone can think it's error. No, it's not errors. It will not allow you because the guard is telling that no, you cannot access it. So now you make it true and you make it clients again. Now you can see the client. So this is where your custom logic will go into place. So let's say here I will say let's take a variable and say a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, right? So we are, what are we doing? We are saying there are two variables, right? Um, so let's just define them here, and a equal to 0, b equal to 0, right? So here I'm going to say this dot a, this dot b, right? So let's say some value, right? So now you can say if a is greater than this dot b, right? So return true, else return false, correct? So what I'm trying to show you here is that the conditions that we add, right? So what happens usually, I'll show you first the working copy of this and then let's see that. So now you try and access clients. So what's your expected output? It will not, because A is not greater than B. Now I'll make it 100. Now see. Now I'm going to make it clients. So now I can access it because A is greater than B. Now what happens? Usually this, right? Here you would call an HTTP call to backend API and get auth token for user, right? So you get a token and you'll say user token is equal to false, let's say, right? Initially, let's say you have the user token to be setting to false, right? Now here you would say you make a HTTP call, you get user token equal to true. That means user is logged in. Now you would say if this dot user token, that means if user is logged in, then show him the clients. He can see the clients. But the moment you say it is false, now you cannot see anymore, right? So what happens in the login? You set the user token to true and update, keep getting it from the backend whether the user token is valid or not. And in the logout, you kill it and make a request again, set it to logout to true. So this is how usually you can see how the route guard works, right? With can activate. So I showed you a couple of examples that you can use. Give it a try. Like I said, in the next episode, I will dig deep into each of this. I will explain you how each and every word that is there in this particular file auth guard and what it means and how you can use it, because these are the ones that you would really work when you go into any real-time application or project. They expect you to know all of this knowledge, right? So I will help you get there. Okay, I'm going to help you cover each and everything in detail. If you like my work and tutorials, please do consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/arctutorials. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next episode. We'll cover about route guards can activate. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next episode.